How you doing, guys? Chris here. Well, I got this in the mail a few days ago. This is the Rekon FPV 5-inch long range. Pretty excited to have it. I ordered it right when it first came out, and well, you know, me and the US Postal Service aren't exactly the best of friends, and I get things pretty late, so as you can see, I ordered this the day it came out and it arrived a few days ago. So, what can I do? Anyway, so I called Dave and I asked him had he experimented with the orientation of the motors, or if he tried a different configuration to put a larger prop on there, or if he tried with a 6-inch prop. And he said he didn't. He also mentioned that it would probably be a little bit more difficult to tune if you were to do so. But this is what I do. I experiment and try to make the most out of the frame. I like efficiency, and quoting him, he said there's a possibility it could be more efficient with a 5.5 or a 6-inch, you know, getting a good feel for what he thought about what I wanted to do, you know, maybe inverting the motors, getting the arms out of the way so that it could be more efficient, or perhaps flipping it over completely and putting a 6-inch prop on there. He said, you know, he hadn't tried it, but that's what we do here. We're going to do a little bit of experimenting. We're going to see what something new can come out of this, and yeah, let's unbox it and see what we got. All right. And here we have everything all laid out, and I was actually pretty surprised on how light all this was. This is going to be a very light frame. I mean, obviously long range frames benefit from being lightweight, but when he said, you know, it's not going to be designed to be a sub 250 gram frame, let me just pull out the scale here and see how much the carbon weighs. That's pretty light, 31 grams for the carbon, and then these are all the components, 62 grams minus the bag, so we'll just call it 60. I can definitely get a 60 gram frame under sub 250, so are we gonna shoot for that? Wasn't exactly my intention. Wasn't planning on being a sub 250 gram build, but I do have some of these motors here. These are 2204 1722 kV, and they're not heavy. Let's see, the motor itself, let's get that in view if you can see it. Zero it out. The motor's what, 21.2 grams, so pretty lightweight motor. I do also have some 2004s. These are the LR by Brother Hobby 2004s. This is like a 17 gram motor. So if I really wanted to, we could definitely go for a sub 250 gram build with this. Let's see how we feel. Let's start building, and if I can put a bigger prop on there, like a 6-inch prop, maybe we'll forget about sub 250 and we'll just try to this 2204 motor. And if we can't, we have to stay with the 5 or maybe a 5.5 inch. We'll stick with the 2004 motor. I think that'll be the plan. All right, let's put it together. All right, guys, and we're back. And yeah, I have a mock-up here. I got the motors in kind of a split Z configuration here. So they're inverted in the front and they're standard in the back. And that is to allow for a larger size prop. The battery will have to be bottom mounted. Well, it doesn't have to be. If you have some other way of launching the drone, you can still put the battery up here. It's just, it's more convenient for me to rest the battery on the ground like that when you have props inverted. That way it just keeps the prop off the ground when it lands and when you have to take off, but that's up to you. But yeah, so in this configuration we have 6-inch props, which did not fit. sorry. The 6 inches, no matter how I configured it, kept touching the back post here. It was fine in the front, but no, couldn't get it unless I put something taller, but then you couldn't run your GPS or your self-powered buzzer hanging off the back there. So had to do away with the 6-inch props. That's too bad. But the 5.5-inch props, they fit just fine. Let's get that on there. You have to watch the way your wires run to your self-powered buzzer. You have to run them across the top and down. But as far as the back post goes, good to go. Flex, maybe with the flex of the, you maybe want to turn that around. Actually, let's just do that. And there you go. We turn the housing around for the self-powered buzzer, and now you can have prop flex, all that you need, and you'll be fine. So there you go. In this configuration, we have 5.5-inch props on the front and on the back. No issue there, and no issue here. So this is how I'll run it. 5.5-inch props with, this is an 850, that'll work just fine. This is an 1100, same size, same length anyway, that'll run just fine. So let's see how much this weighs. Obviously it's not built out, but give me a rough estimate if it can be under 250 grams or not. So this is minus a flight controller, 2 props, and the camera system. So we're at 233. What's a Vista weigh? A naked Vista anyway. So that's about 23 grams. Yeah. So just the Vista will put us at 250. So if you wanted this to run at sub 250 grams, you'd probably have to forego the 850 and go with something like a 650 or a 750. We'll try that out. I'll build this out and we'll experiment with the battery size. Now that we have a larger prop on here, maybe you'll still get the same amount of flight time. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to use these, not right away anyway. I guess I could, but we'll see. Let's see what the stability of this larger prop does for the frame. He said it would be harder to tune with a larger size prop, so maybe I might have to put those on. We'll see. Stay tuned. How you doing, guys? And here we have it. It's all put together. And you can see the configuration is a little bit different than standard. Obviously, I have the flight controller in the back and the Vista in the front. And I had to do that because of the length of this all-in-one flight controller. Typically, you're supposed to use a 20 by 20 stack here, and you put the Vista in the back seat. That's why the antenna is in the front. But because I wanted to use this all-in-one with the 35 amp ESCs, the flight controller only fit in the back. Not a big deal. It's not going to affect the flight characteristics or anything. So as you can see here, I didn't put it all together, primarily because I want to see how it flies. When Dave told me that he didn't think it was going to tune very well, kind of put a thought in the back of my head, do I want to invest this much time into something that might not work out? So we're going to hover it here, and then the next video I'm going to spend trying to tune it and doing a maiden. And if it turns out like crap, I'll let you know. So for now, we're just gonna bare bones it, leave it with just the flight controller, ESCs, and the Vista. Not gonna put a buzzer on, not gonna put the GPS on until I know it's a viable quad. So let's get a weight on this thing. All right, so this is with an 850 battery on it. We already know it's gonna be over 250, but by how much? It's at 285, 285.8. Okay, that's not so bad. Let's try it with a smaller battery. Okay, so I got the battery. So as you can see by the quad alone, it is 188.2 grams. This is a 4S 650. And there you go. or a 650 is going to get you your sub 250 grams, and flight time was going to be obviously much shorter, but if you're worried about 250 grams, this is your configuration. Stay tuned for part 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe.